Welcome, dear listener, to Stoic Wisdom. Today we're venturing into one of the most fascinating and often misunderstood realms of human connection, a woman's unspoken emotions. If a woman is developing feelings for you, she will say these 7 things. Stoicism. Now, here's something most men don't realize. A woman's words often reveal her emotions long before her actions ever do. We've been conditioned to look for signs in body language, to measure her texting frequency, or to notice how often she initiates plans. These are useful cues, yes, but they are not the whole picture. Sign number 1. I've never told anyone this before. There are few sentences more revealing, more loaded with meaning than this one. When a woman prefaces a story with, "I don't usually talk about this," or "I've never told anyone this before," she's doing far more than simply telling you a story. She's signaling trust. She's opening the door of her inner world and inviting you in. Now think about this carefully. Women are not careless with their emotional treasures. They are selective, very selective, about whom they allow into their most private thoughts. Childhood wounds, insecurities, personal struggles, embarrassing fears. These are not things a woman casually shares with a man she feels nothing for. When she begins to share these parts of herself with you, she's not only letting you closer, she's testing the depth of your response. She wants to know if you are safe, if you are capable of holding her vulnerability without breaking it. Why does this matter so much? Because trust is the soil in which attraction grows. Before love blossoms, before desire deepens, a woman must feel secure. If she doesn't trust you, she cannot give her emotions fully. But when she does begin to trust, when she risks peeling back the protective layers, she is, in essence, saying, "I'm letting you see the real me. Please, handle this with care." Stoic philosophy tells us that what is truly ours cannot be taken away. And in relationships, what truly bonds two people is not surface-level attraction, but the willingness to expose the soul, little by little, in shared confidence. Here's the mistake most men make. When a woman reveals something personal, many men mishandle it in one of 3 ways. They minimize it. Saying things like, "Oh, that's not a big deal," may feel comforting, but it actually dismisses her feelings. To her, it was a big deal, otherwise she wouldn't have shared it. They rush to solve it. Some men, with the best of intentions, jump in with solutions. "Well, you just need to do this and you'll be fine." But this makes her feel unheard, as if her emotions are a problem to fix instead of an experience to be understood. They change the subject. Because vulnerability can feel heavy, some men simply redirect the conversation. This is the worst move of all. It tells her that her openness made you uncomfortable and therefore unsafe to confide in again. The right response. The true key here is presence. You don't need to fix her, minimize her, or rescue her. All you need to do is listen and validate. Simple, heartfelt responses are powerful. "I really appreciate you trusting me with that. That must have been so difficult for you. Thank you for sharing that with me. I know it's not easy." These small acknowledgements tell her, "Your feelings matter here. You are safe with me." And once a woman feels safe with you emotionally, her attachment deepens in ways that are not easily undone. Why this moment is so important? This moment, her choosing to reveal something personal, is often the transition point between surface-level attraction and genuine emotional connection. A woman might flirt with many, laugh with many, spend time with many, but she will only expose her vulnerabilities to the one she feels could truly matter. This is why, if you ever hear her say, "I've never told anyone this before," you must recognize the magnitude of that gift. For her, this is not small talk. This is the beginning of something real. Sign number 2. I feel so comfortable around you. At first hearing, this might sound like a throwaway compliment. After all, we say similar things in casual situations all the time. "Oh, I feel comfortable here," or "You're easy to talk to." But when a woman directs this phrase at you, it is rarely casual. it is almost always a carefully chosen revelation. Why this matters: women are naturally cautious by nature. Their instincts, honed over centuries of survival, are designed to protect not only their physical safety, but also their emotional well-being. Unlike men, who may dive quickly into situations without fear of exposure, women tend to carry an invisible shield, a defense mechanism that filters out who can and cannot get close. So when she tells you, "I feel comfortable around you," what she's really saying is, "You've bypassed my defenses. I can lower my guard with you. I can exhale." This isn't ordinary. It's not something she feels around just anyone. The two types of comfort. But here is where men often misinterpret. There are two kinds of comfort a woman can experience with you, and only one leads to real attraction. Romantic comfort. This is the rare blend where she feels both safe and drawn to you. She's not only at ease in your presence, but also excited, curious, and maybe even a little nervous in the good way. Her comfort doesn't reduce attraction, it fuels it. She can relax and be herself while still feeling that spark of anticipation around you. Platonic comfort. This, however, is the dangerous kind, at least for a man hoping for romance. This is the friend zone comfort. She feels safe, but the excitement, the intrigue, the mystery, it isn't there. You become her trusted confidant, but not her chosen partner. And here's the mistake. Many men assume that comfort alone equals attraction. It doesn't. Comfort is the foundation, but without intrigue, playfulness, or polarity, it can just as easily cement you as the safe guy she'll never see romantically. How to tell the difference. So how do you know which kind of comfort she means? Pay attention to the context and the delivery. If she says, "I feel comfortable with you," while holding eye contact, smiling, maybe even giving you playful touches on the arm or shoulder, that's a signal of romantic comfort. She feels safe and attracted. If she says it with a flat tone, perhaps while confiding in you during a serious conversation about another man, or while treating you like an emotional counselor, that's platonic comfort. She sees you as safe, but not as a romantic figure. The Stoics would tell us, do not interpret what you wish to hear, but what is. In other words, don't fool yourself into thinking every compliment is a confession of love. Observe carefully. Watch not just the words, but the energy surrounding them. The deeper meaning. Why does this phrase matter so much? Because comfort is the first layer of intimacy. A woman cannot love you if she cannot relax around you. She cannot desire you if she feels unsafe in your presence. And she cannot open up emotionally if she fears judgment or ridicule. Think about it. If she tells you she's comfortable, she is telling you that her inner alarms are silent around you. That in itself is a privilege. But the challenge for a man is this: don't confuse comfort with completion. You still must balance safety with excitement, trust with mystery, security with challenge. Mistakes men make. Here, assuming comfort is enough. Men often stop creating attraction once they hear this phrase. They think, great, she's comfortable, my job is done. But attraction requires continual effort, playfulness, teasing, subtle flirtation, without which comfort turns to boredom. Over-validating. Some men respond with too much neediness. Really, I'm so glad. I love that you're comfortable with me. That means so much. While sincere, it can come across as desperate. Remember, less is more. Leaning too far into the safe guy role. If every conversation becomes about her problems, her stress, her complaints, you risk becoming her emotional therapist, not her romantic interest. The right response. So, how do you respond wisely when she says this? With calm, subtle confidence, a small smile, a light remark. Something that acknowledges what she said, but doesn't cling to it. Examples. Good, that's how it should be. I'm glad. I like that you can be yourself with me. Or, with a playful grin, careful, if you get too comfortable, you'll never want to leave. These responses affirm her feelings without overplaying them. They keep the interaction warm, but still infused with light intrigue. The Stoic reflection Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In relationships, this means that you must remain composed. Don't let your excitement at her words cloud your discernment. Recognize comfort as a sign, but not a guarantee. Treat it as progress, not the final destination. Because true attraction, true love, requires both security and spark. Comfort opens the door, but what you do afterward determines whether she steps into friendship or romance. Sign number 3. Do you think about me? At first glance, this might sound like a light-hearted, even playful question, but if you listen carefully, you'll realize it's anything but casual. When a woman asks, "Do you think about me?" she is revealing far more than curiosity. She is exposing her own emotional investment. Because here's the truth, women do not ask this to men they feel indifferent toward. They don't care about the thoughts of a man who means nothing to them. So when she asks you this question, it's already proof that you've crossed the line from casual acquaintance into someone who occupies her mind and her heart more than she's comfortable admitting. Why she asks this question? At its core, this question is about reassurance. She's testing the waters. She wants to know, am I important to you? Do I matter when I'm not around? Do I live in your mind the way you live in mine? But she doesn't want to expose herself fully by saying, "I think about you a lot, and I want to know if you feel the same." That would feel too vulnerable. Instead, she frames it as curiosity. "Do you think about me?" In reality, this is her way of asking, am I safe to fall deeper? The delicate balance of mystery. Now, here is where most men go wrong. They think the right move is to answer directly and fully. They either over-reveal, "Yes, I think about you all the time, every day I can't stop." Over-hide, "Not really, I'm busy with other things." Both extremes kill the very tension that fuels attraction. Why? Because attraction lives in the balance between certainty and uncertainty. If she knows with absolute certainty that you're obsessed with her, the mystery evaporates. If she suspects you don't care at all, she loses interest. The key is to respond in a way that confirms her importance while still keeping her curious. The playful response. The best responses here are light, teasing, and slightly mysterious. They let her know she's on your mind without handing her the full map of your emotions. Examples. Maybe. Why? Have you been thinking about me? I try not to, but you keep popping into my head. Thinking, maybe? Dreaming, possibly? Each of these answers does two things. It acknowledges her question. She knows she's significant to you. It flips the focus back onto her, gently pressuring her to reveal her feelings. This creates intrigue and playful tension, which deepens attraction rather than dissolving it. Why this phrase matters so much? This simple question is more than words. It's a threshold moment. When she asks if you think about her, she's essentially giving you an opening to escalate the emotional intimacy between you. This is the perfect time to deepen your connection with something personal, something specific. Instead of answering with just a yes or no, you can add a story, a memory, or a detail that makes her feel special. For example, "Actually, I was thinking about that joke you made the other day. It randomly popped into my head and I had to stop myself from laughing in public. It's funny you ask because I was just remembering how your eyes lit up during that movie we watched." By adding detail, you're showing that you don't just think about her in passing. You remember her essence, the way she made you feel, the little things. And that, to her, is deeply meaningful. Variations of this question. Pay attention, because women rarely say it the same way. It might come out as, "Do you ever miss me?" "I bet you don't even think about me when I'm not around." "Do you ever replay our conversations after we talk?" Each version carries the same weight. She's seeking assurance that she matters to you beyond the surface. The mistakes men make being too predictable. Always answering with, "Of course I do," may sound sweet at first, but over time it removes the tension and mystery that keep her intrigued, turning it into a joke too often. While playful teasing is powerful, if you never give her a sincere moment, she may feel you're avoiding vulnerability altogether, giving nothing back. Some men just say, "yeah," and move on. This is a missed opportunity to deepen emotional intimacy. The Stoic reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When a woman asks if you think about her, she's asking if her presence colors your inner world. She wants to know if she has left an imprint on your mind, as you have on hers. The Stoic approach here is mindfulness. Don't lie, don't overstate, don't rush. Respond with presence, balanced between honesty and restraint. Because true connection doesn't need exaggeration, it needs sincerity wrapped in mystery. Sign number 4, what would you do in my shoes? At first, this phrase may sound like a simple request for advice. People ask for opinions all the time. What should I wear? Or what do you think about this situation? But when a woman begins asking you questions like, what would you do if you were me? Especially in matters that touch her emotions, her choices, or her struggles, it's much more than casual curiosity. It's a sign that she values your perspective. More than that, it's proof that she sees you as someone worth leaning on. Why this question is significant. When a woman is developing feelings for you, she doesn't just want you to like her. She wants to feel that your mind, your judgment, your values align with hers. By asking you, what would you do in my shoes? She is inviting you into her world. She wants to know how you'd navigate her situation because part of her already imagines you as a partner, someone who could walk through life with her. Testing your character. She's paying attention to how you think, how you react, whether your choices reveal wisdom or foolishness. Seeking emotional support. Even if she doesn't take your advice, your response makes her feel heard, less alone, and more connected. For her, this is not about the solution, it's about the shared perspective. Why she chooses you think carefully. People do not seek advice from just anyone. If she wanted a quick answer, she could ask a friend, a family member, or even search online. But she asked you. That means she's placing emotional weight on your words. It's her way of saying, your opinion matters to me. Your voice carries weight in my life. And when someone's words matter, it's because their presence matters even more. The Stoic parallel Stoicism teaches us that the wise man is not ruled by circumstance, but by virtue. Epictetus once said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." This applies here. When she asks for your perspective, she is not looking for a lecture on right and wrong. She is watching how you embody your principles. Your calmness, your patience, your fairness. These things speak louder than the content of your words. She's not just listening to your advice, she's feeling your strength. The mistakes men make, turning it into a control move. Some men take her question as permission to tell her what to do. Well, you should do this, no question. This can come across as domineering. She didn't ask for a commander. She asked for a confidant, being dismissive. Responding with something like, "Oh, I don't know, it's not a big deal," makes her feel unseen. Remember, if she brought it to you, it is a big deal to her. Making it about themselves. Instead of stepping into her perspective, some men turn it inward. Well, if it were me, I'd just do this, because that's how I handle things. But this misses the point. She doesn't want to hear only about you, she wants to know how you understand her position. The right way to respond. The key is empathy. To truly step into her shoes means to momentarily set aside your own biases and imagine how the world feels from her perspective. A strong response balances logic with compassion. If I were in your shoes, I'd probably feel the same way you do. Honestly, if I had to decide, I'd lean toward this option because it seems to protect your peace. If it were me, I'd do this, but I also understand why it's hard for you. Notice that these responses don't just give direction, they reflect her feelings back to her. This creates closeness because she feels you are not only thinking for her, but also thinking with her. A practical example. Imagine she says, "I've been having issues with a coworker who constantly disrespects me. What would you do in my shoes?" A poor response would be, "Just ignore them. Don't let it get to you." Dismissive. A better response might be, "If I were in your place, I'd set a clear boundary, calmly but firmly. But I also know it's not easy when you have to see that person every day." This response balances advice with validation. She hears both a solution and empathy. She walks away feeling supported, not lectured. The deeper meaning. When a woman repeatedly asks for your perspective, it's no longer just about the issue at hand, it's about trust. She is revealing that your voice carries weight in her decisions. And that is not the behavior of someone who is indifferent. In fact, it is one of the clearest indications that she is beginning to picture you as part of her life, not just someone she talks to, but someone she could walk beside. The Stoic reflection. Seneca once said, "One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood." What applies to friendship applies even more strongly to love. When she asks, "What would you do in my shoes?" she is not simply seeking advice, she is seeking understanding. She wants to feel that you are not only near her, but also with her. This is the foundation of emotional intimacy, and once that foundation is laid, attraction almost always deepens into something more enduring. Sign number 5. I like spending time with you. At first glance, this might sound like a harmless, casual statement. We all say it from time to time, "I like hanging out with you," or "It's fun being around you." But when a woman says this specifically to you, in a meaningful tone, it's a signal that goes far deeper than the words themselves. Why this phrase is important. A woman's time is precious, both physically and emotionally. She doesn't casually give it to just anyone. The way she chooses to spend her hours, her attention, her energy, reflects her emotional priorities. When she says, "I like spending time with you," she's communicating preference. Among all the options she has, friends, family, work, hobbies, you are someone she actively chooses. Enjoyment, it's not just neutral acceptance. She experiences joy and satisfaction in your presence. Connection. She feels a bond that transcends casual acquaintance. She values your company in ways she may not yet fully articulate. Stoically speaking, this aligns with the idea that we become attached to what brings us harmony and tranquility. Time spent together is her way of seeking emotional equilibrium, an instinctive recognition that your presence nurtures her well-being. The difference between romantic and platonic spending. Just like comfort, not all statements about spending time are equal. There is romantic intention and platonic habit. Romantic time. When she expresses enjoyment while maintaining playful eye contact, subtle touches, laughter, and lingering conversations, this is more than friendship. She is emotionally investing in your presence. Platonic time. If she enjoys your company in a purely casual sense, watching movies, chatting occasionally, no flirtation or subtle connection cues, she may simply enjoy you as a friend. The key is in the energy surrounding the statement. Romantic investment carries curiosity, warmth, and a slight tension of anticipation. The mistakes men make assuming liking time equals love. Many men interpret this phrase as a direct confession. While it signals attraction, it is not a declaration of full romantic commitment, failing to respond with presence. Some men nod politely or respond neutrally. "Yeah, me too." This is underwhelming. It misses an opportunity to deepen the connection. Overanalyzing or overreacting. On the other extreme, some men become overly eager, saying, "I love spending every second with you too." While enthusiastic, this can come across as neediness and reduce intrigue. The right way to respond. A strong response is balanced, confident, and reflective. You want to acknowledge her sentiment while subtly reinforcing your presence in her life. Examples. I enjoy our time together too. You make it easy to forget the world for a while. Me too, being around you is different in a good way. I like it too. It's rare to find someone who makes hours feel like minutes. Notice how these responses validate her feelings, highlight your enjoyment, maintain intrigue and charm. The deeper meaning. When a woman expresses that she enjoys spending time with you, she is also communicating trust, safety, and emotional resonance. She is saying, being around you feels right. I feel good when I'm with you. This is a subtle but critical stage in emotional investment. At this point, she's not just thinking about you or seeking your approval, she is actively choosing your presence because it brings her comfort, joy, and a sense of connection. A practical example. Imagine she says, I like spending time with you. These talks make me feel understood. A poor response would be, cool, me too, I guess. Underwhelming. A better response, I know what you mean. Our conversations stick with me too. I find myself thinking about them long after. This not only validates her feeling, but mirrors her experience, creating a sense of mutual resonance. She feels seen, which is a critical step toward deeper emotional attachment. The Stoic reflection Seneca wrote, associate with those who will make a better man of you. In relationships, this applies both ways. When she chooses to spend time with you, she is subtly telling you, you elevate my experience, even in small ways. As a man, your role is to recognize the weight of this trust and choice, responding with calm confidence and thoughtful presence. You do not need to overstate your feelings, but your acknowledgement, balanced with intrigue and playfulness, cements the growing attraction. Sign number 6. I miss you when you're not around. This phrase might sound simple on the surface, almost casual, but it carries enormous emotional weight. When a woman says, I miss you, she is letting you know that your absence leaves a tangible void in her day. Why this phrase matters to miss someone is to value their presence deeply. It's not about mere habit or convenience, it's about emotional attachment. When a woman admits she misses you, it's proof that you have already carved out a significant space in her mind and heart. Think about it. People do not miss those who don't matter to them. She could be busy, distracted, or preoccupied with countless things. Yet she chooses to express her longing for you. That alone is a powerful indicator of developing feelings. Emotional layers behind I miss you. Acknowledgement of absence. She is aware of the time apart and feels its impact. This signals attentiveness and emotional sensitivity. Implicit desire for connection. Saying she misses you is often a subtle invitation to deepen interaction. She's expressing that she wants your presence without demanding it outright. Emotional transparency. She is revealing vulnerability. Missing someone is a tender emotion. It leaves her open to potential disappointment if her feelings aren't reciprocated. The mistakes men make. Downplaying it, responding with something like, don't worry, I'll be back soon, can make her feel brushed aside. It's functional but emotionally shallow. Overreacting, saying, I miss you more than you can imagine, can feel overwhelming or overly needy. Emotional intensity is best shared gradually. Failing to reciprocate subtly. Some men ignore the opportunity to mirror her feelings in a thoughtful, controlled way, missing a key chance to deepen connection. The right way to respond. A wise response validates her feelings while keeping the intrigue alive. Examples. I was just thinking about you too. It's funny how quiet it feels without you around. I noticed your absence too. It's not the same without you. I miss our talks as well. They're the highlight of my day. Notice the pattern. These responses acknowledge her feelings, show emotional resonance, and subtly highlight your own appreciation of her presence. A Stoic reflection. Seneca taught that true connection requires balance and awareness. Associate with those who will make you better without being consumed by passion. In this context, missing someone is not about dependency or obsession. It's about mindful appreciation of their presence and the value they bring to your life. Acknowledging her words calmly and thoughtfully strengthens the emotional bond without creating neediness or imbalance. Practical example. Imagine she texts, "I really miss you today." Poor response, "I miss you too, all the time." Too intense, removes intrigue. Better response, "Funny, I was just remembering that thing we laughed about yesterday." It makes the day feel longer without you around. By sharing a specific memory, you turn her general feeling into a personalized, emotionally rich moment. You mirror her sentiment while giving it depth, creating a shared emotional space that strengthens attachment. Why this phrase signals real feelings. Saying "I miss you" is not casual chatter. It is a subtle confession. She values your presence. She experiences emotional discomfort in your absence. She is willing to reveal vulnerability because she trusts you. This combination is a clear marker that her feelings are moving beyond friendship or casual liking. At this stage, she is already emotionally invested. Sign number 7. I can really see a future with you. I imagine us together. When a woman says something like, "I can see a future with you," or "I imagine us together," this is the clearest, most direct verbal signal that her feelings have matured beyond curiosity or infatuation. This is no longer about testing the waters. She is openly sharing her emotional vision. Her imagination includes you, and she is comfortable admitting it. Why this phrase matters. This is the ultimate sign because it demonstrates emotional investment. She is thinking long-term and considering you as part of her life, trust and security. She feels safe expressing her desires without fear of judgment. Attachment. She is already imagining scenarios where you are together, signaling attachment that goes beyond mere interest. Unlike earlier signs that are subtle and indirect, this one is overt. It's a verbal confirmation that she has moved from attraction into emotional commitment. The mistakes men make underestimating its significance. Some men hear this and treat it lightly. "Oh, that's nice." This minimizes her emotional disclosure and can make her feel unseen. Overreacting or making promises too soon, responding with, "Yes, me too, we'll be together forever," can come off as desperate or unrealistic. This is still the early stage of emotional development, ignoring the nuance. Often, women phrase this hypothetically. "I imagine us traveling together," or "I could see us doing this in the future," which allows them to reveal feelings without full vulnerability. Misreading this as casual conversation misses the cue entirely. The right way to respond. The key is to acknowledge, validate, and reciprocate lightly without overcommitting. This balances emotional connection with stoic composure. Examples. "I like imagining that too. It's fun to picture us exploring life together." "I can see that. It's exciting thinking about the possibilities." "I enjoy thinking about that with you. It feels natural." These responses do 3 things. Show that you value her vision, create emotional resonance, maintain a calm, confident presence without rushing the relationship. Why this signals? Real love. At this stage, she has transitioned from testing, hinting, and seeking reassurance to sharing her internal world with you openly. This indicates she trusts you deeply. She is emotionally attached. She is exploring the idea of a shared future, which is a hallmark of real affection. Stoically, this aligns with the principle of virtue and reflection. She is showing that she values not only your presence, but also your character, imagining a life shaped by mutual understanding and respect. Practical example. Imagine she says, "I can really see us traveling together someday." Poor response, "Yeah, maybe. That could be fun." Non-committal, underwhelming. Better response, "That sounds amazing. I can picture us laughing through all those adventures. I'd love to experience that with you." Notice how the second response validates her vision, shares the excitement, and subtly signals your own willingness without overstepping. This deepens emotional intimacy while keeping attraction alive. The Stoic reflection Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." In relationships, recognizing these moments of vulnerability and emotional revelation is a privilege. Respond with mindfulness, respect, and calm confidence. By doing so, you honor her feelings while strengthening the bond, building a foundation for lasting connection. That completes sign number 7, fully expanded, and closes the guide. Final thoughts. A woman's words often reveal her feelings long before her actions do, by paying attention to these 7 verbal cues. "I've never told anyone this before," emotional disclosure. "I feel so comfortable around you," safety and intrigue. "Do you think about me?" Emotional curiosity. "What would you do in my shoes?" Seeking perspective and trust. "I like spending time with you," valuing your presence. "I miss you when you're not around." Attachment and longing. "I can see a future with you," imagining shared life. You can recognize when a woman is genuinely developing feelings for you. The key throughout is mindful observation, emotional awareness, and balanced response. Listen, validate, and subtly reciprocate. Keep intrigue alive, maintain your stoic composure, and honor the emotional gift she's giving you, the courage to share her inner world. When you combine awareness of her words with careful, respectful action, you not only deepen attraction, you create a connection that can evolve into lasting love.